terrific performance. I think there are a few things that we can address that are going to really take you to another level. You've got all the basic ingredients. So what's the tempo working?
We got Cumbria, like with life.
Yeah, I like your vivace. Yeah, a Cumbria. Yeah. What's Brio mean? Yeah, so I mean, all the most energy you can imagine. Let's see. So I think we can try it faster. That's one thing. So it has more of this sort of visceral excitement that the piece offers. And I mean, who can tell us something about Beethoven when he burst onto the scene? Was there anything, I mean, if you had to just sum him up in a few short sentences, what kind of person do you think he was? And what did he do? Was he the sort of guy that said, he'd say, how are you doing? Take it out, whatever. Okay. You think he'd respond that way? Tell us something about Beethoven.
Well, he did everything like unexpected, like it wasn't normal for the day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, any other thoughts about Beethoven? Beethoven means to you, or what you feel when you hear his music? Any thoughts? Are there anybody here? Well, certainly the idea of doing things unexpected. I mean, here this was the time of the French Revolution, you know, and the importance of the self and the birth of romanticism. And so it's like all bets were off. There was a sense of unlimited possibility. And in a way, he created music that was like thinking out loud. And with the attitude of, there's nothing that's impossible. So I think that's one of the reasons that we still listen to his music and feel uplifted by it. It's like, there's no such thing as no in this music. Can we try, actually, can I try something with you guys? Excuse me 1 second. Let's just see what happens. Take a faster tempo. Try it again. 1, 2, 3. less than talented brother, let's say, of Ludwig. And he discovers some of Ludwig's music, we imagine, and he has his own way of doing it. So he might have done. Right, I mean, sort of, it's ridiculous, but that's what sort of the cookie cutter for bar phrases, classical style phrasing. And so this is exactly not that. So you want to shock people, even contemporary audiences that have heard this piece a gazillion times. So all the more, the fast tempo, hold that note longer before it gets transformed. And you can let it hang there for a moment, thinking, where am I going to go next? That's the thing, this music has to suggest in the moment a decision is being made. Not that, okay, we're playing music that was written a couple hundred years ago by somebody who's long gone. That's the idea. You can even lighten it. And everybody makes sort of cat fingers. You want to have the feeling that you're playing into the palms of your hand. Yes, yeah. I would also suggest instead of, were you doing 4, 3, 2, 1? I would suggest try 5, 3, 2, 1s. Yeah, that works better, doesn't it? Yeah, and so so if from all D to be much the T and then comes soft after that. And the other thing I want to say is don't accent the D in that bar, 1, 2, 3, 4 bar. Because you want to lead to there. Okay? Let's try that again. So cat fingers. Everybody encourage him with your cat fingers at your seat. Okay. Either as harmonies, like for instance, when you go F, right? Wherever there's a problem, I can guarantee is an F natural problem. And so another is throughout the go D minor, where it's not supposed to be D minor at all. It's supposed to be an F in D major. And then the F turns into a dominant and B flat. It's like you weren't paying attention to me, so now I'm going to make my point. And then there's that whole section. So whenever you're studying a Beethoven piece, try to notice what the problem is and see if you can trace it through the piece. In fact, what do you notice about the second movement? What key is that in? Yeah, there's that F natural again. And then the last move, there'll be plenty of F natural. But could we go could we start, that was so terrific. Could we just start writing on 21 and keep playing? Metabolism of the piece, reinforcements for the important moments. So let me also show you one thing. If we start with 21 again, also let's see, can you come in stronger? F natural. So you can be really much more soloistic. And do you just read here? I think you just read. Okay, that's good. With a high key. Okay, can we start from 21 again? And increase as much as you can to the fortissimo. of the two-bar phrasing. That's much better, much better. Could we start from, one thing else I was saying, let's see. Could we do this when you have your two bars from 21? Can you send it, can you invite Olivia, right, to come in? So you're not just, that's the thing, it's got to be more dynamic amongst you. So really gesturing towards her and increasing to make it more, make her feel more welcome. Okay, can we do that again? 21. So where this is a real conversation. 27. 27? Make the texture a little bit lighter, and you guys can give more focus to your sound, young, buddy, maybe with more space between the dotted note and the little guy at the end of the measure. So this is 51. I didn't know if you, when you do young, that very note, can you do it closer to the bridge with a little more tongue, a little more consonant to the sound? Closer to the bridge and a little more bite. To forte is like going from 30 miles an hour to 70 miles an hour quickly, right? So you have that one measure to increase to forte, right? Where we just were, ta-da, and interesting, notice why she wouldn't necessarily in the trill, that's our friendly F natural again. So wherever you notice that F natural, you want to help the listener hear these worms in the apple, or whatever they are. Could we do that one more time? That's great, from 51. I say, yes, 12 things. the tips flying. You want to try to go higher, go higher. That's the idea, yeah. With very firm fingers. Imagine your fingers don't just start here, but they start back here. Very bony. Yeah, that's the idea. That's the thing to work on, and you might just experiment with that finger. Now, I suppose we have to stop. Oh, we have time. Okay. There are lots of places in the development where you guys are playing in thirds or sixths or tenths or something. Let's find a spot. Well, here's one. Generally speaking, when you're in thirds, which do you think of you should come out more? The upper or the lower? Any thoughts? Well, let's try both ways. Let's see. So this, should we try from, is this a hard part?
1:30.
Maybe let's,
Before that.
well, let's go back. Actually, maybe it's easier to start right before that. 124. Can you, what do you think the mood of this is? This is in the development. Do you think it gets a little bit like roughhousing?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. You can roughhouse a little more. You know, like, wait a minute, that's mine. No, that's mine. You know, it's my thing. So this is where it starts, isn't it? Well, actually, it goes back here. This is great too, where you interrupt each other. Could we go back here? Yeah, okay, let's do that. Okay. Now, so here, you have to be careful not to be too loud in your triplets. I mean, you're good at that. One in 1/17, so that could be less. Or make a difference between the sforzando and the non-sforzando. Let's see. Well, I'm trying to, this I'm jumping around too much. Can we try from here, right on this measure? 124, 5, 6, 7, 128, and we're going to try maybe just your right hand and Olivia, and you're going to come out more. you want to try the cello maybe first?
Sure.
Okay, so from that same place, just your left hand and the cello. Yeah. And there it's really neat. So you want it to sound like an instrument. Can we just do that from there? 145. And see if you can really fool us that it's just one instrument. Yeah, do it one more time. Try to make your notes. It's an old diminuendo, right? Trying to make spaghetti finger, cat fingers, pulling them into your hand. From that same place where is that?
145.
Yeah. You know what will help fool us? Yeah. Go as if you're playing. Yeah, actually, you know what's a cool thing to do? Practice it where you're playing the entire line, both of you. And then, in fact, can you do it? Okay, try that. So play his lines and play your own. Yeah. Now, when you divide it up, play as if you're in a play his line, but don't. So go yup, up, 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 right to him. That's the idea. It's hard to do that, isn't it? Yeah. So that's the other cool thing about this about Beethoven, and certainly later Beethoven. The sense of aliveness of all the parts and the merging of ideas, the many different roles that you play in relation to each other. It's fascinating, and certainly this development has a lot of interesting interplay among the parts. Yeah, maybe we should just touch on this. interesting. Yeah, do you know anything further about it? Supposedly sketches for this movement were found side by side with sketches for Beethoven's opera on Macbeth, which never got very far. And particularly is supposed to bear resemblance to the witch's brouhaha in Macbeth. So the more terrifying, and this is one of the most terrifying pieces ever written, the more terrifying you can make this, the better. I mean, E.T.A. Hoffmann was a great music critic at the time of Beethoven, was writing about the Fifth Symphony, but it could have been said about this piece, that Beethoven set in motion the lever of awe and terror in a way that nobody ever did before, and probably nobody will since. Just that we're so used to horror movies, with this sort of, we've heard that so much that it doesn't scare us anymore. But you need to imagine, I mean, what you're doing is great, it could just be much more so. That, again, our hair should be standing up. And I think you can explore vibrato or non-vibrato by the opening. So that it's such a deadly sound. Is it sotto voce? Yeah. Can you, and you have to really sustain that intensity all the way through, two measures each time. But I think you're pretty consistently doing in vibrato, right? But what if you actually do the first one, no vibrato? And then you, as if just sort of smoky, foggy, yeah, I mean, like in Macbeth or Hamlet or any, where usually it's on the moors and it's dark and there's mist. You have to be in the mist and certainly be in the corner. Can we try it with the open? Motion up the four and down the four, so there's continuing rather than four individual ones. And I also start so yeah, 5, 2, maybe 5, 2. Yeah, so put it in 2, 2, 4. Yes, yeah, like spiny ghost fingers with the pedal before you play. And so you see what you can do all sorts of things with vibrato. When you have this, and also how to have 4 of them. Less, and then more. So it can have more differentiation. I mean, this is one of the weirdest things anybody ever wrote. Really. And all the silence around. I mean, it's really a non-theme what you have, right? I mean, it's like after the end of the world, whatever's left is trying to pull itself together. Who knows what? When you have more angular, nasty, and then so there's a kind of extremis in this piece. You have to be willing to go. When there's a crescendo all the way to the end and then a subito piano, don't give away that there's a subito piano coming up. You have to be willing to go to the edge and look over. And it takes courage. It's terrifying. The other thing I want to say is when you're fighting for life, you strings against the piano, I'd say play with flat hairs up close to the finger, up close to the bridge. I think so that, I mean, again, there's struggle built into this music. You play it very easily and very well, but now you have to not let us think that it's so easy to play. that everything about it is a struggle and an existential decision and terrifying. Okay, so it just gives you some thoughts to ponder.
Thank you a lot.